Considered by many to be one of the best fighting games out there, one of the best crossover games ever, we're going to take a look at Marvel Vs Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. Is this game really as good as everybody says it is? So let's break it down. This game has made a huge impact on gaming in general, and in many different ways. The fact that it's a crossover between Marvel and Capcom characters is one thing, which, there was that previous game, but it had a total of 56 characters. The stages had nothing to do with Marvel or Capcom characters. The music was random jazz music. And there was a cactus dude and a pirate that never appeared in any Capcom games or Marvel comics, at least to my knowledge. It seems real loony, but that's the fun of it. It's just so loony, bizarre, and out there. Plus you have some of the coolest characters in gaming and comic history. You can't help but love it. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 features a 3-on-3 fighting tag system where you can tag in and out opponents, or just bring them in for a friendly assist. Combat isn't the most refined thing in the world, but it can be a lot of fun. Sometimes the AI is kind of broken. I mean, look at poor Hulk here. He doesn't really know what to do. There are endless combinations of teams and rosters that you can put together. That's what gives this game such longevity, and that's why it's been played for so long, is because you can make insane, crazy matchups. And this game's been out since the early 2000s, so people have had longer than 10 years, got down to the nitty-gritty to every detail, and yes, screw the Magneto, Sentinel, and Storm teams. I'm serious about this. Luckily though, if you go online, there are people that actually play with other characters, so that's nice. The Xbox 360 and the PS3 does feature online multiplayer, and it's still active today. But if you go online, you'll probably get your ass kicked. I know I did. A lot.
The battle for survival begins.
When I talked about balance earlier, a lot of people consider this a very broken game. It's not as tight as a lot of fighting games you would see today when it comes to character balancing. As I mentioned, the Magneto, Storm, and Sentinel teams, if you don't believe me, go online. There is tons of footage of how broken those guys are. If you go online and you face a lot of people with those kind of characters, or other certain characters I know that are broken that I've completely forgotten about, it'll be very frustrating to people that are new to the game. There's also some weird graphical issues with the PS3 and Xbox 360 version, and the reason for that is because this is normally a 4x3 game, which they decided to do a few tricks to make it look like it's 16:9, but then when you do look at certain things, you notice that parts of graphics are missing because it was designed with only standard size TVs in mind. You will have those minor annoyances. There's really not a whole lot of game modes in this version. I didn't really see anything in the other versions of it either, to my recollection. The arcade mode, survival mode, there's online battles, you can battle locally with a friend. This game is also $15, so I mean, it's not too bad. Though I will say the story is very, very lacking, which I know is common in most fighters, but really there's really nothing at all. Like, no exposition, no nothing, no characters at the end walk off into the sunset holding hands, and magical unicorns fly out and poop out rainbows. Nothing like that. Nothing at all. Your final boss is a giant Viking monster, some kind of weird evil gelatin jello man, and what I think is blob version of Carnage mixed with Slimer? I don't know. It's something. The biggest negative, though, the biggest weakness, is that due to Marvel's licensing agreement with Capcom ending, this has been pulled from Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. So if you already own it, you can re-download it. If you want to buy it, you're out of luck. The only thing that is out there that you can do is you can purchase on eBay someone's physical copy of Marvel Vs. Capcom 2 on PS3 that comes with a code. It's a PS3 case with a game code. Weird, but yeah. Or if you have a more retro console and not worried about the online, you could of course always just purchase the game, but the game is a little pricey, so buyer beware. And of course there's the E word, emulation, which, you know, I would never mention that.
Showtime!
Who will survive?
At the end of the day, though, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has one of the biggest impacts in fighting game history, and it has proven that these games can be mainstream. They had one of the biggest name in comics. They had their characters face off against their characters. The only time you ever seen that was like Marvel vs. DC, and those things rarely ever happen. Now, I'm no comic book buff or anything like that, but I do know that if you love comic books, Capcom games, or if you just love watching superheroes beat the living tar out of one another and being those superheroes beating the tar out of one another, then Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes is just the thing you need till Civil War. Captain America Civil War, coming to theaters soon. Please buy tickets. They need money. This is not endorsed by Marvel or Disney. Not available in Utah or Maryland. Please check a box for official rules. Other legal jargon. This is not a paid advertisement. Because seriously, who's going to pay me anything?